Good evening, guys, and welcome to our Tuesday night team Zoom. I am so very excited today to be talking about this new tool to have in your tool belt because most of us, I think, on the call have come in via the product. We were looking for some kind of either physical transformation or a health, better health, and we came because the products are amazing. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was leading with the financial model. And I've been studying Susan Miller's way of growing. Susan Miller is one of the 7-figure annual income earners in our organization. She has been in network marketing for many years, since she was 27 years old, and she's now in her 50s, but she kind of got out of it because she was realizing that she was in a couple companies where they didn't have the comp plan right. They didn't have the financial model right. And she says that because, yeah, she made $1 million, she made it to millionaire, but her people weren't getting the same financial results as she was. So she came up with this top-down approach, which has really worked for her and her team. In just 7 years, she's created 10 Isogenics millionaires in her organization. And I think it's fascinating because I grew my business and I grew very quickly. And I went from, I made it to millionaire in 4 years. And I went from, I think it was 1-star to 4-star in 8 months. So I was pretty much ignorance on fire. I was completely enamored and passionate and fell in love with what the products did to my body, my well-being, my life. And that's how I grew my business. So there's a million ways to grow this business. The evidence by at least 300, evidenced by the 300 millionaires that we have. And I just feel that I just had to work a little harder. And she has this approach that, it's a simple, it really simplifies everything. It duplicates. And I'm not saying that it's easy because it takes time and effort to do anything, but it is a more simple way of growing your business. And I'm so excited about it because I really think it's what so many of our organizations need, especially, and there's people that are doing this business and are getting a little frustrated with the cleanse coaching and the having so many customers and trying to convince their customers to do the business. And what she's saying is that the customers are the customers. They are 80% of your organization, and you're going to be in this business. The business is the product, and the product is the business, because Isogenics products are life-changing. And so obviously you're going to be helping people with the products, but when you're really thinking of serving people, I mean, the products change bodies and transform bodies, but the business truly changes lives. And the way that you serve people is by the financial health, helping them with their financial health, not just their physical health. So I feel like we've been focusing on personal production, and she kind of switches it and into more team development. And she shows you how to build teams. And it's funny because I always look at the top leaders, especially the top 30. The top 30 in our organization, the top 30 income earners are making $1 million or more a year. And I always look at those businesses to see how I can learn from them. And I look through and I'm like, well, and this is not to make an excuse, but you look through and you see stories and different ways of building a business. So you can have a tool belt of all these different ways. So I look at, Michael and Lynn Hagedorn and Michael. And they have, years and years and years of network marketing experience. And then you look at people like Herb and Patty Cepeda. They also have years of experience. And you look at people like Alexis Romano, and she is a workhorse, and she just has great systems. She's really, really good about systems. And I always look at all the leaders, and one leader that always stood out for me was Jessica Johnston, because Jessica Johnston wasn't that girl that you see working, 16 hours a day. She didn't have any network marketing experience. She came from the financial world. She came to the business through the products, but she was sharing her story the other day on a call, and she was saying that she just started what she wanted to do in her organization. It was important to her, since she had a financial background, it was important for her to join professionals to really do this business. So she says that she walked into her first event and she had 10 minutes with Jimmy Smith, and that was worth the admission to the event, because she just caught the vision from Jimmy. Jimmy made it simple for her, and he told her, what you need to do is you need to build teams, and that's how she started building the business. So she just says that she just started finding people that wanted the financial opportunity. She was asking, are you open? Are you open? Are you open to the financial opportunity? And she started building teams of executives. And what became her favorite product, because she says, obviously she came to this company because of the product. She was very, very sick. And in 14 years, she was going to doctors 6 times a year. And now in the last 7 years, since she's been with Isogenics, she stopped needing to go to doctors. She was already in love with the products, but she says that her favorite product became the comp plan, and that people need money as much as they need help. So she believes that talking about the money was the real shift in her business. She says when she started the business, she was a workhorse. She was getting enrolling a bunch of people, and she made it all the way up to $83,000 for the year. I think in her, I don't know if it was her second year or her third year. And then the next year, she says when she finally started to talk about the money, their 1099 showed $970,000. And she says that the shift is, if you don't talk about the business, you really have no business. That's her big, big thing. So get uncomfortable and give people a safe platform to start talking about their income. She quadrupled her income when she started to talk about the money. And she says that she finally read GoPro. She says after it was just a few years she had been in it, she hadn't even ever read GoPro or The Business of the 21st Century. And she finally read those 2 books, and she was like, oh, she started getting it. And she was like, and it's kind of like me, like when I read those books, I was kind of ignorance on fire. And I read those books and I was like, oh, I kind of figured this out along the way, but it could have been and could be so much easier. So she just started looking for like-minded people, and she started building teams. She says that she really didn't have time to do the business, to spend a lot of time on the business. So she just started putting groups of people together. And like her first obstacle was people would say, oh, but what will people think? Like what people have this different view of network marketing. And her main thing is she differentiates network marketing with MLM or direct selling or anything like that, because this is really about building a network. And she says, if you're, she's made so far $5 million within these last 7 years that she's been in the company. And she really only started making the millions in the last 4 years, because the first 3 years she didn't make a lot of money. So she says, if you can make $5 million, who cares what people think? And I love that she says that. So move from being the student to teacher to mentor. And so I wanted to go back because all of you have watched the pencil pitch, but not all of you have watched the 7 calls. I've posted the 7 calls on the Team Live Free page. I really encourage you to watch them, because it really shows you how to drive your lines and build your teams, and focus on finding those people that are open to the financial model, instead of trying to convince your customers. So one thing I wanted to just mention from the pencil pitch, this is what I did. And you guys, you just really have to start doing this pencil pitch, because there's a million ways to grow this business. But if you at least know the pencil pitch, especially for those people that are influencers, or they've already succeeded in their careers, or you see these people that would really, really be great at this business. These are the people that are not just going to be your customers, that they could be your business builders, and the ones that help you build this organization. That millionaire mindset that Susan and Jimmy always talk about is, you know, it's better to have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of your own. So the pencil pitch is all about this quadrant. And I actually made this for my Zoom calls. I had to do it since I don't know, I'm not very techie. So the camera and Zoom calls switches up the picture. So I had to do it backwards. But this is her quadrant. And remember, she has employees on one side and self-employed on the other. So those are people who work for other people or people who have their own businesses. Then you have on other side of the quadrant, you have big business and you have investors. Big business are, you know, people that leverage themselves, maybe a law firm that has a bunch of lawyers, or you know, I don't know, a beauty salon that has franchised themselves and make money from different franchises, or just big business, over 500 employees that are being leveraged. And then investors are, obviously you have, you know, some extra money and you invest in real estate, or you invest in the stock market. So the idea is that this side of the quadrant, let's talk about employees. This side of the quadrant makes up 95% of our population workforce, but only 5% of the wealth. And this side of the quadrant only makes up 5% of our population, but 95% of the wealth. So the idea is we want to be on this side of the quadrant. And unless you have a lot of money to invest, network marketing is the business of the 21st century, which is what Robert Kiyosaki talks about in his book. So I encourage everyone to reread that book if you've already read it, or read it for the first time if you haven't, because it really simplifies how they grow their business. And the idea is 100 BV to be set free. And when I say that, I don't mean to say that, you know, we're not sharing the value pack, we're not sharing the premium pack or the basic pack. I'm just saying that's for your customers. Those are for the people that want that transformation. They really need that health portion of it. But if you're talking to people for the business, and now I talk to everyone about the business, because if I talk to someone about the business and then I see that they're not interested, they'll just become my customer. That's fine. But if you really think about it, we're not doing this. We're not on these calls. We're not doing whatever we do, one-on-ones, or posting on Facebook, or doing launch parties, or however it is you're growing your business. We're not doing that because we love the product. Yes, we love the product, but we're doing that to build a business. So the idea is to approach people with this quadrant, explain to them, and that's what the pencil pitch is all about. Explain to them what this is all about, and then explain to them that our business works on exponential growth and the word of mouth. So it's like Facebook. And I love the example of Facebook, because everybody's always like, oh my God, yeah, Facebook, you know, however many years ago, 15 years ago, you know, nobody knew what Facebook was, or however long ago. And now it's like billions of people are on Facebook worldwide, globally. And Facebook never advertised. Did you ever see a commercial for Facebook? Did you ever see an infomercial? No. So we can agree that word of mouth and exponential growth is really important. And that's why I always ask people, okay, so let me ask you guys, because if you haven't seen the calls, maybe this is a good question. Tell me either on the chat or you can unmute yourself. If I told you, so I have all this money in the world and I want to give away some money. And I tell you, okay, I'll give you $1 million today, or I'm going to give you a penny, and from day 1 to day 30, I'm going to double that penny every single day. Which would you rather have? Does anyone want to take a stab at that? Okay, Judy would take the penny. So, the penny. Okay, so Tommy would take the penny. So you guys understand the idea of compounding interest, because on the first day you only have you only have 2 pennies because you've doubled it. But then on the second day you'll have 4, on the 5th day you'll have 8, but then by day 10 you'll have $10 worth of pennies. Look at this. By day 10 you'll have $10 worth of pennies, but by day 20 you'll have $10,000 worth of pennies, and by day 30 you'll have $10 million. And then guess what? 10 million doubled is 20 million by day 31. So guys, I love that penny compounding, because that's what this business is all about. If we find 10 people for the sake of this conversation, because 10 people is what gets you to executive, let's use 10. And I always say, if you're struggling with leading with the business, always say, for the sake of this conversation, the company is a $7 billion company. Can we agree that the products work? I mean, they've been around for almost 20 years, and they're a multiple billion-dollar company. They're making almost $1 billion a year, thanks to our scientist on board, who is the number one. I mean, we just got a scientist on board who is the number one Harvard med graduate. And he projects that we're going to go from 1 billion to 2 billion in just the next year or two. That's where this company is going right now. And that's why I'm so excited, because 10 years ago, when I was going crazy, telling everyone, join me, because I kind of started seeing the vision of the industry. Even though I was leading with the product, I didn't really understand the comp plan, but I understood that the compounding effect, and I understood in the power of network marketing. I was asking everyone to join me, and people thought I was crazy. I remember one of my high school friends once told me, oh my God, people are laughing at you because you're so excited about this crazy thing on Facebook. And then I was able to free my family financially. I was able to walk away from my CPA job, which was a strong 6-figure income. I replaced my strong figure income. I humbly share that my husband walked away from his strong 6-figure income. We quadrupled what we were making. We became, we actually created time freedom and financial abundance, where for the last 5 years, I can honestly say that for the first 5 years, I really worked my business with everything I had. But for the next 5 years, I've been concentrating on my family and traveling. And I mean, I haven't really worked it to the extent I did the first 5 years. So, I am so passionate about this financial model, because I've seen it firsthand how it's freed my family. So going back to the financial model, that's what we should be. And I totally went off on a tangent. I was going to say something else, but that's what we should be leading with, because if people see that compounding, that's what our company is all about, then all you need to do is teach them then how to replace. And I'm using Starbucks as an example, because the last 20 people that I've talked to tell me, they really don't spend too much money on food because they eat at home, or a lot of people don't go to restaurants, blah, blah, blah. But everyone goes to Starbucks either every day, every other day, once a week, or once in a while. And every time you go to Starbucks, even if you get one drink, you're going to spend at least $7. So for the people that are going to Starbucks every single day and just getting their little morning drink, that's over $5 with taxes, like $5. I just went to Starbucks today, and I spent $30 on. I got almonds. My daughter got a drink and a cake pop, and my other daughter got a drink and something else. So the idea is, okay, so you're spending $5 a day on Starbucks. $5 a day times 30 days is $150. Why not redirect that $150 a month to earn a 6, multiple 6, or 7-figure income? Because you're only redirecting the expense that you're already spending on something that is actually going to give you better results than what you're having now. Whether it's weight loss, energy, youthful aging, better performance, better sleep, more money, whatever. We have over 100 products. Now we have a new energy fizzy drink coming up that we're super excited about. I mean, you can find something in our online holistic superfood store. Just like Amazon, you can find something that you're going to order every single month to create a freedom business. And it's just about teaching. So that's what I was going back to what I was going to say. It's about teaching 10 people that are open to the financial model, how to share with 10 people. Because if you think about it, getting to executive is where this business starts. And if you just show 10 people how to share with their people, I mean, just those first 10 people, how to become consultants with their 2 people, that's going to give you 100 people. So you find 10 people that want to redirect their spending $150 a month in order to create a multiple six or seven figure income in the future. They're spending $150 a month. And you're going to help them recover their costs. So 100% return on investment, because with their first two people, if they just get the 100 BB, $150, they're going to get $150 back now with the crystal reset. So in the first 30 days, all you're doing is finding those people that want to redirect that $150 and helping them find their two people within the first 30 days to get that money back. That's 100% return on investment. Now you just have to do that with your other 9 people, and then you have 100 people in your organization. But guess what? If you teach those 100 people, I mean, even if those 100 people don't do the business and they just find customers, let's say they're loving the products, they share, and those 100 people are sharing the product and they share with 10 people each, that's 1,000 people in your organization. And guess what? Remember going back to, I said that it's better 100% of 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of your own. Our company pays 6%. So if you just do the math, 1,000 times 6% is going to give you a residual income of $6,000 a month. $6,000 a month. That's $72,000 a year with just the first 10 people really duplicating that 100. Nobody thinks twice about spending $150 a month. Yes, going back to the value pack and the premium and the basic. If someone needs a weight loss transformation or they really, really need a health transformation, yes, you're going to suggest those packs. But if you're looking for business builders and you're presenting this compounding effect and the quadrants to someone that's excited and is open, then show them the business opportunity. Because with just that $72,000 a year, if you just do that same generation one more time, that's what maxes out your business center. That's $702,000 a year. And it sounds, oh yeah, she makes it sound so simple. It is that simple. It just takes work. The opportunity is endless. You just have to put in the work. And the work is really simple work. It's not rocket science. It's not heart surgery. You don't have to go to medical school. You don't have to go to law school. You have to learn 2 things. This, and then show someone how to reallocate their $150 a month. So that's pretty much, in a nutshell, what those calls talk about in this new way of earning. It's not really a new way, but it is for me because I just built my entire business on, it was so product driven. And although I love the products, I didn't go in to distribute these products worldwide because of the product. I am continuing to do this because the financial model has completely freed my family. And I really, truly believe that anyone can do it. For now, if you just read The Business of the 21st Century and just listen to those 7 calls, that's a great start, and you'll get into massive action because she really shows you, her and Jimmy Smith really show you how to get into that massive action. So does anybody have any questions? Nobody has any questions on this stuff. All right, well, before we log off, I did want to share something that I've been sharing with I've actually done this, and guys, I am so excited. So I was studying this for I'm not going to lie, I was studying this for a good month, over a month, before I got into action. And then I said, you know what? I was super fearful of doing the pencil pitch. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to get into action. And I walked into, and it didn't happen. It wasn't supposed to happen like this, but it happened by mistake. But I walked into an ice cream shop the other day because me and my girls went to lunch and they wanted ice cream. So I'm walking through the shopping center and there's this new ice cream place. And I walk into the ice cream place and all of a sudden the ice cream place is like I mean, it's a super cool, it has karaoke. They have like, it's a brand new place. They have like these beautiful couches and this place where you can play video games. And I walk in and the concept is like, you can get anything mixed in your ice cream from like these 20 cereals that they have. So they have Captain Crunch and Fruit Loops and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And my girls are like, oh my God, ice cream and cereal. That's such a cool concept. And we get them the ice cream and they're loving the ice cream. And I'm sitting on the couches and I really like the couches. And all of a sudden I'm like, man, these are some of the couches that I'd like for my living room. So I asked the guy, the little boy, he was pretty much a little boy, he looks super young, who's sitting behind the counter or helping us behind the counter. And I'm like, hey, where did the owner get these couches? Because I'd love some for my house. And he's like, oh, I'm the owner and I ordered them on, wherever. And I'm like, you're the owner? How old are you? He's like, I'm 22. And I'm like, oh my God. So I started talking to him and he's like, yeah, I ended up raising the money to build up the space, but I always had this concept because when I was 18, I went to New York and I saw this ice cream shop that mixed the ice cream with some cereals and this and that and whatever. And I was just like, oh my God, this little boy is an entrepreneur. So I pencil pitched him. The very first one, I just did it. I didn't even really hadn't practiced it or anything. I just pencil pitched him. I did this, and this. And he was like, oh my God, sign me up. And I'm going to give you the list. This was literally a few days ago. I'm going to give you the list of my people. And now I'm working with his people to just spend his same $150. Nobody thought twice about it. He wanted the energy. So I got him 2 shakes. And we always say it's 2 canisters a shake because 1 shake a day, a shake and a shot or a shake and a hero product. And I got him on a shake and a shot because he does go to the gym. He wants the energy. So I got him on 1 Ionics, a thing of e-shots and 2 shakes. And that was 100 BV pack. And he's so excited about it and already getting all his friends on it. Another thing is I did just recently, today, actually, no, the day before yesterday, I did the first pencil pitch on Zoom, which was really weird because I don't know if you see this, but I had to write this backwards in order for you to see this like this. So it was just, I just did it and it worked. She ordered and she's giving me her list. So the idea is just go out and do it and this is what I wanted to read to you guys. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. And in a world where financial stability is not a reality for most, we believe that there is a way to create it. And in a world where toxic overload and nutritionally bankrupt food is making us sick, we believe that there's a way to change it. Our job is not to do business with every single person out there who needs what we have because we know everybody needs it. Our job is to do business with people who believe what we already believe in. Find those people and show them a simple, duplicatable model that anyone can do from 18 years old to 80 years old, or 91 if you're Jimmy Smith. And it has to be simple. It has to be duplicatable. And it has to be something that everyone can do alongside of what they're already doing. What would you do if you knew you would not fail? I love that. What would you do if you knew you could not fail? Because there's a time in everyone's life where you need to plant your feet firmly on the ground, decide on who it is you are and what it is you believe in. And I personally really, really believe in this company. I believe in this industry, and I believe each and every one of us has the same opportunity to have that Jessica Johnston story, who went from $83,000 in her 4th year to almost $1 million in her 5th year. So if you guys have any questions, I am available via email or text or Facebook group. And that's all for now, folks. You guys good?
It was good. Thank you, Laura.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you, Laura.